The second game is a game that I own on the Genesis, and that's where we played it on my old Genesis. Excuse me. And was one I got as a kid, and I was so excited about because I love this movie. It's one of my favorite franchises of all time, and nobody else had this game. Everybody else had the Super Nintendo version of it, which is vastly different, very, very different games. And the game in question is 1993's Jurassic Park. The game, of course, follows the exact same story as the movie. I don't really need to go over that with anybody, do I? But basically, you control Alan Grant, a paleontologist who's brought to Costa Rica by a rich old fool. He's brought back dinosaurs, sorry, through genetic engineering, and of course, shit spirals out of control, and everybody's forced to survive in a park full of lunatic raving dinosaurs. The game consists of 7 levels, and let's see, the jungle, the power station, the pumping station, the river, the canyons, the volcano, and the visitor center. Yeah, I got them. So you have to go through these 7 levels with Grant, and just basically you're trying to avoid the dinosaurs. You can't really kill them. So you're just trying to sedate them when you can and just move on, fulfill your objective, and get to the end of the level. I think there's also 7 types of dinosaurs in the game: the Brachiosaurus, the Compies, Dilophosaurs, Raptors, Triceratops, Tyrannosaur, and maybe one more I'm missing. Pterodactyls. All of them are out to get you to various degrees, other than the Brachiosaur, who just help you along the way by just being there, and you can jump off them, sort of thing. But all the other ones are out to get you, and in order to combat them, you have various types of weapons to kind of at least put them down temporarily. There's 2 different gauges of tranquilizer darts. There's a couple different types of grenades, explosive, gas grenades, that sort of thing. There's a taser. So all these weapons are designed just to temporarily disable the dinosaurs, so you can move past them and move on with your trek. The other pickups, the pickups in the game are, of course, ammo icons to refill all of the respective weapons that you have at your disposal. Med packs, which increase your health if you get low. And in all the levels except one are side-scrolling, walk on along kind of levels. The river actually sees Grant enter a little rubber dinghy with a motor on the back, and you have to get through the level with the boat. And you're in danger of running out of gas. So there's gas canister icons that you can pick up to keep your gas topped up. So as you make your way through the game, like I said, you have weapons, but they're just to disable. So Grant has to rely on a lot of wily abilities. So he's capable of like crawling along ledges, climbing ladders, swinging across chains and shit like that. So it's a lot of physical kind of avoidance and climbing and just doing things fast to stay out of the way of the dinosaurs and elude them, sort of thing. So, but if you're able to get through all 7 levels and escape the island, you have completed Jurassic Park. This was by far the easiest of the 3 games, but it was a game I never completed as a kid because I didn't understand what you had to do at the end of the level. I would always get there at the visitor center, pop out in the middle of it where the Tyrannosaur is supposed to run in and eat the raptors and stuff like that, but I got there and nothing happened. And finally, we Googled it. It was a very simple solution. I just never tried as a kid because I didn't think to. You had to just shoot the dinosaur skeletons and they would fall down, and that's it. That's literally it. So it was nice to. It's an easy game, but it was one I never beat. So it was finally nice to get this vindication all these years later. The last of these 3 games was easily the biggest doozy of them all. Took us weeks and weeks, months and months of play on this game, and it made it even harder because we would just get to it sporadically, right? So we kind of forget what was going on. But this game is huge. It's an icon for the Super Nintendo. Released in North America in 1992, although it was out overseas the year before in 91. And we wanted to get a game from this franchise on our list. And we just weren't sure which one to go with, so we just picked this one at random. And the game in question is The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. So this game serves as a bit of a prequel to the original 2 games that were on the NES from the Legend of Zelda series. And in it, you control Link, who is living in Hyrule with his uncle. He's the last of the descendants of the Hyrule warriors, or whatever the hell they are. And one day he receives a kind of telepathic distress call from Zelda saying, "Oh no, an evil wizard named Aghanim has trapped me in the dungeons," or whatever like that. So, and Zelda herself being the last descendant of the 7 sages, something like that. I don't know a lot of the mythology behind Legend of Zelda. I haven't played too many games from the series. It doesn't grab my attention like a lot of the other staple Nintendo series does, which I'm sure some people will fucking tar and feather me, but I don't know, it just doesn't. It seems like too much work a lot of the time. But anyways, so he goes and rescues her, and things are all good. But then the real plot of the game is revealed. Aghanim's actions hint at a larger plot to release his master from the Dark Realm, and his master is Ganon, or Ganondorf, as you may know him, who was trapped in the Dark Realm in events prior to this game. He is the ultimate bad guy. He's the big pig man that everybody knows from the games and the Super Mario Brothers cartoon from back in the 90s. So he's at threat of being released from the Dark Realm and taking over the land, and so you've got to stop it. Now, this game is an absolute beast. It's an open map, and you have to basically, there's no levels, you just traipse back and forth across the land completing tasks. There's 7 jewels you have to obtain early in the game, so you have to go to these different castles or palaces or whatever. Very maze-like, very hard to complete and keep organized in your mind, and at the end of each one there's a boss you have to fight before you get the jewel. So and not only that, but there's all these items you have to obtain and sometimes upgrade, and a lot of like your sword you have to eventually upgrade to the master sword. Your bow and arrows you have to upgrade so you can take down Ganon at the end. Same with your sword. There's a flute you can obtain to call in this bird to transport you across the map and make travel easier. There's a couple different staffs, the fire and ice staff, a couple different canes that do things. Jars you can obtain to fill with potion that replenish your magic and your health. Heart container pieces where you collect 4, you add an extra heart to your life meter. There's just so much stuff to collect and so much stuff to do, and the hard part is that they don't necessarily explain it to you what you have to do. Sometimes they may hint at it, sometimes you may get somewhat of a direct message of what you have to do, but they don't always point you in the right direction. So we just found a lot of the time we're like, well, what the hell do we do now, right? We got this massive map, we just completed some sort of task, but we don't know where to go, we don't know what to do next, and you're just kind of lost. So for people that actually beat this game back in the 90s when it came out and there was no save function, like kudos to them. I believe I've heard some videos of people talking about the game. It's like, yeah, back when I was a kid and I beat this game. I'm like, bullshit, you did, right? Like, only a select few fucking nerds across the globe would have beaten this game back in the day. It was just it's just a complete beast of a game. So the only reason we beat it is that we played it on my Switch's Super Nintendo channel, right, where they have all the games, and you can create save slots and save your progress so we can pick up where we left off the next week, sort of thing. So otherwise, if we were playing it on my Super Nintendo, no chance we wouldn't even have embarked on this game if that was the case. So that being said, it's it's a Nintendo game, so it sounds great, it looks great, it plays great, controls great. It's everything about it is perfect. It's got that top-down view. Me and Simon are both big fans of the top-down view, and it's just a joy to behold and immerse yourself in. It's just the challenge factor is through the roof on this game. So are we glad we played it? Yes. Are we happy we beat it? Yes. Are we very much fucking relieved we beat it? Oh, hell yes. So that's the 3 games for this time around. We are going to get working on our next 3 this coming Sunday, I do believe. So we will be actually, sorry, we've already started on our next game. We started last Sunday. I kind of forgot what we were doing. So yeah, we've already started on our next hat trick of games, so to speak. So hopefully I will be back to you with another Bill 69 video sooner rather than later, but there's no guarantees in life.